welcome to another Lawn Fawn video. Today we are introducing Baaah Humbug and its coordinating dies, so let's go ahead and stamp it out. Here we have this cute little standing sheep, and yes, he is a party animal. He works with all of the party animal and holiday party animal images. And then we have two little sheep that can face each other and be in love. We have all of these great little items that you can add to this sheep or any of our other party animals. So we have a cute little Christmas list, a present, this knitting needles, which is my absolute favorite. It's so adorable. And then some yarn and some cute little strings to come off that yarn to help set the scene. We have a cute little bow, a Santa hat, a scarf, and this cute little string of lights, which you can put all around the sheep. And then we have a nice little bell and a holly leaf and berries you can use to create a really cool background. And then some mistletoe for those sheep, and a little bow that fits perfectly on top of that mistletoe. And then an extra little dot for another little berry there. And of course a little heart. And then we have All I Want for Christmas Is You. And so you can line these up and create a super long sentiment, or you can stamp them stacked like I'm going to do here. So here is All I Want For, and then Christmas Is You. We also have Feliz Navidad. So cute. Baaah Humbug, of course, and Warm Winter Wishes. And then we have an exclamation point to add to the end of these phrases. So here we have the first little sheep here, and I am actually just going to color his face, ears, and arms and legs, which is weird for me because I usually don't like to leave anything plain white, but I saw a card that I was inspired by that Elena did where she left him plain white and it looks so cool. So I'm just going to color the little face there and ears and arms and legs and leave the rest bright white to really stand out on a card. And of course some little rosy cheeks. So now I'm going to start coloring my other sheep here, and you'll see that I had a little marker leak mistake happen, so I had to stamp out another little sheep there and put it on top and recolor. But I'm just adding very, very light shading and blending that light gray marker out with the colorless blender. And any kind of light gray marker would work really well for this, and it makes it just kind of look like a little dirty sheep. And then I can take the really light brown and blend it out with an even lighter brown for the face, ear, and legs. And then now I'm going to color this other guy a little bit darker. I thought it'd be fun to play with some darker shades. So I took some darker shades of that light gray, the W1 and 2, and I'm going to add the shading around all of the little bumps of the sheep. I'm using the stamp to tell me where to put my shade. So there's a bump there. Okay, I'm going to make it darker. And just lay that dark marker on and blend it out. And then I can start adding color to his face and legs and little horn there. So I'm going to do the face just like I did all the other sheep there. And then I went over that pink face with a W0 because I thought it was a little too bright. And then now I can color the horn. And I like adding light gray markers on top of things just to dull the color out if I made it brighter than I wanted. So now I'm going to color all of the extra little decoration images in this set. So I'm making this Christmas list look nice and worn there with some warm grays. And then just adding a lot of red to my images. So a red bow and red with the knitting needles and the yarn. I thought that looks really nice with the sheep. And I love adding a really nice dark red just to add a little extra shadow. Now I can color the Santa hat and then use my white gel pen to make all of the white parts of these stamps look even brighter. You can see as you add that white gel pen, it just pops. Then I'm going to break apart my dies at those wire tabs to separate them all. And then I can line it up with my stamped image and use some Post-it note tape to hold it in place and then run it through my die cut machine, and you'll see how cute they look when they come out of the dies. And then here's a look at all of the die cut images from this set and how you can mix and match them to decorate the sheep. So there with the little bell, or you could add the bow. And then you can use a little mistletoe between them with the bow also. And then you can use the standing sheep to use all the party animal type images to have him hold it. And my favorite is the knitting needles. It's just too cute. And so I like to use the knitting needles and then add that ball of yarn just right on the side to help set the scene. And so here's a look at some fun things that you can do with the set. Now it's time to start making some cards, and I was inspired by a card by Shari that I'm going to create with these two cute little in love sheep. So I'm using a bunch of Let's Bouquet 6x6 pattern papers and our stitched rectangle dies. And I'm making sure to line that one up nice and straight so that our stripes are straight too. And then I'm going to layer these two rectangles on top of each other, and they'll have that great stitching detail. Now I'm going to start decorating my little sheep here. I'm putting foam tape on the outside and then a glue dot at the tip of the scarf. And the same thing with the hat. And this is just to give them some fun dimensions. So you can see how it kind of looks like the hat and scarf are flying off the little sheep there. And then I've stamped my mistletoe in noble fir and my bow in lobster and die cut them. And then now I stamped out the All I Want for Christmas Is You on a piece of white cardstock, and I'm just going to trim down this little panel, and then I'm going to cut down the middle of this piece and then line up the point of my paper to the top of my slit, and this is going to create a cute little flagged banner. Once again, I'll line the top up with the top of the slit, and there we go. So now I'm starting to kind of layer all my pieces and see how everything is going to fit. And I want to draw a line for the mistletoe. So I'm just putting that paper down right now just temporarily with just a little bit of adhesive, kind of lining everything up and making a mark where that bow is. So I know how far down to make my line. Then I'm going to use my T-square here and a red pen that actually Shari sent me that I absolutely love. And I'm going to draw a line down to that little mark that I made. So I'm just going really slowly because I am having to go over different layers of paper there. And then now I'm going to go back and just thicken that line up with my pen and then add some foam tape to my panel, and now I can permanently adhere it, lining up that red line there. Now I'm going to add that little sentiment panel with some foam tape, and then I'm going to do the same thing with a glue dot at one end and the foam tape at the other, just to give it some cool dimension of kind of popping up off the card. And I'll line it up with that red line and then use some glue dots on that bow and line that up too. Then I can add my little sheep with some foam adhesive, and now they're under the mistletoe, and I can layer the whole thing on a standard size card. Now I'm going to add a bunch of Wink of Stella glitter to the scarf, hat, and the little bow on the mistletoe. And you can see how cute this little card is. It's so sweet, and you can make a ton of them too. It's not too hard of a layout to do. Now here is the little knitting sheep, my favorite part of this set, and here I have one of the stitched ovals that I've cut from some aqua cardstock. And here I'm just kind of trying to see which border I should use on this oval here to create my snowy background, and I thought that that forest border would be adorable. Now the first time I cut it, the hill was just way too small, so I recut a stitched oval from white, and then I'm going to line up that die, and now it has the stitching detail and I can layer on top of my aqua piece. I wanted to pop this up with some foam tape, so I'm adding tiny little pieces to those trees. It's a bit fussy, but it really is worth it in the end. And I can line that up. Now I'm stamping the Warm Winter Wishes sentiment with lobster ink onto a little strip of white cardstock. I'm going to trim that down just like I did for the other card, and then cut down the edges just a little bit. And now I can flag the end just like I did with the other one. So I'm going to cut a slit down the middle, and then from that top point of the little panel there, I'm going to connect with the scissors to the top of the slit. And by doing that, you'll create a really cute little flagged end. So now I can just connect those pieces and add my sheep there with some foam tape. And then I'm going to add the little elements, the yarn and the pieces of string, which I think really helps set the scene for this cute little knitting sheep. And then I'll put my little sentiment panel on with foam tape too. Now I'm using some Let's Bouquet paper from the 6x6 pad, and I thought it looked so striking with that aqua oval on top. And this is a standard size card, so I'm putting some cardstock there, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and I'll layer that stitched rectangle piece on top. And then I'm going to use double foam tape on this. I really wanted it to pop up off that red. So I'm layering 2 pieces of foam. And then once I've got that all on there, I can line it up on my card base and add that on there. And I just think it looks so cute. I just love that aqua and red combo. And then here's another little look at the card. And then when I put the cards next to each other, I realized this one needed a little glitter too. So I added it to the scarf and the yarn. So this is Baaah Humbug and its coordinating dies. It's such a fun set. You can create cute little scenes with them, and I love that the standing sheep is a party animal. So you can use all of these little images with the standing sheep or use any of the party animal images, and these images can also go with the party animal and holiday party animal set. So there's a lot you can do with it. And then I love this little string of lights that you can add to the sheep too. So I cannot wait to see what you guys create. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!